So peel off, morphling off. Do we feel like there's any carry in here right now? It's like I feel like the kind of cheese over the top carries have been eliminated, right? Like
10 seconds
probably gonna see
remaining.
fast, kind of rapid heroes like Bloodseeker, maybe.
Radiant team pick.
Maybe I was
Drow
okay. So they pick the
intake.
drown. Okay,
Dire
Ooh.
team
say
pick.
it's all about tempo with 178, and okay, very. I'm liking the way that Unique's moving right now. They the issue is again very clear. They have a good way to get onto the back lines, be it through the tree, running through the trees, or the centaur getting that stampede initiate or the disengage as well. But it's they're answering 178 this time rather than just having a very
10
default
seconds
draft. They're actually
remaining.
trying to
Radiant team pick.
get a
Dire
cohesive draft that can
witch
play.
doctor.
But 178 again, their lineup is so. Oh gee, okay, all right, okay,
Jesus.
all right, okay. Yeah, Unique's done it. They finally got given their brood. They played. This is what got them into the upper bracket yesterday. Was they played with the brood in one game and a meepo in another game, and they were the two games that they won. Is when they had these kind of cheesier heroes on Kodos. So
10 seconds
now
remaining.
you get the brood pick, especially when it's against this one. Like they have no answers to a
5
brood, and I think
seconds
178 have
remaining.
completely forgotten about this hero and been blindsided by it.
Yeah, they don't have the best solutions. The Witch Doctor was kind of an interesting choice to bring in, and at that stage, like you're so deep, you don't actually have great wave clear. Like multi shot, it doesn't work against all these little
Radiant
spiderlings. You
team
need with your
ban.
final pick now need insane wave clear. Some that can
Well,
actually
they
form
just need a
against the brood
laner
in the
for
lane.
mid. If they
Yes.
can have a hero that can sit mid and delay the brood pressure, then for sure 178 can very much trade in mid, annoy the brood, and then they can just death ball up a different lane because the brood isn't going to be laning into the likes of these heroes so far in 178.
Could
So
this be
as
a
much
mag ban, by the
10
way? I
seconds
feel like that's
remaining.
maybe 178's best choice right now.
I
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, it's a rough one because when you think of like classic heroes that go up against the brood, you've got maybe the tiny the old days you have Mars, but I don't know how good it is nowadays. You've then got there's Beastmaster's kind of bad actually. That's more of like a Hail Mary, we have to put it there type thing.
Kunkka, maybe?
You could go maybe some kind of Kappa Axe, Kunkka, yeah, Kunkka's fine as well.
I was thinking
Like
like it gives
I
you protection for your drow as well, right? That's the other nice thing.
like initially my reaction to the brood was, oh, this is a good brood game,
Radiant
but then
team pick.
it's still 178 still have this ability to pick a hero that lanes into it. And as long as Unique don't get a really active core that can jump the back lines and make the fights annoying, so like the Ember that 178 banned, then I think 178 still are in a good spot to have this like tempo death ball because Brood is very much until you get the Ags, you're sitting in your lane and you don't really want to relocate too much around the
10
map.
seconds
So of course setting
remaining.
up the webs and stuff. So I think as long as 178 pick a really good hero that
5
lanes into the
seconds
brood,
remaining.
they're actually in an okay spot to still play out their draft without too much pressure of this brood. They have to defend their tower, of course, but again, that's what that pick does.
Definitely in this case, the brood can be static. The drow will probably be unhindered away from the brood for long enough. And yeah, it's just a case of whether now like you can find someone that syncs up the drow, something that uses that aura well, or something that buffs maybe the drow up in return, or if it's just, hey, this is a drow pick, it exists on its own, it's still a decent hero. Let's focus on making sure that we don't let the brood just run away this game.
Yeah, just any active backline jumping carry is very good for Unique, but and game same for 178. It's like you said, Jar just needs to have a good game, good lane, and they're a good spot. They could very much aggro tri lane this drow on this top if this pick here from Unique's weak. Let the Abaddon just sit bottom and then just play from that. And then after the tri lane for the first 2 minutes, then rotate a support to enable the Abaddon in bot lane. That could be one way to mitigate the Drow v Centaur situation where Centaur's a little bit tankier.
Hmm. Especially susceptible to dying to things like the Maledict, right? Because
Dire
that's what
team
you're looking for when you pick the Witch Doctor as a big bulky hero. And they go for the Monkey King on Unique. They are very
Active core.
heavily, yeah, they're like
Active
very
core.
heavily in the. We just want to have these almost kind of cheesy like lane dominations, right? With the
I
brood
know,
and the
but I'm
monkey.
happy to see it. They've struggled so much with their drafts where they've had this mid game reliance, but now they've actually got ways to play it. Okay,
Choose
and
your
yeah,
hero.
like you said, there's the Magnus. Magnus, I don't know how well it. I assume it's good mid, but I have no idea. I've not seen the new Mag v this Brood matchup before, but I'm assuming it's going to be fine, right? If you have Cleave,
Yeah,
etc.,
it's a case of
etc.
whether they
But
dodge because if you get the Monkey King against the Mag, then all of a sudden it's a pretty rough one for Mag.
I would assume it's just going to be the Brood mid. I don't think they're going to
Yeah.
do. Side lane Brood sounds kind of gulp.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit too slow. You don't get to pressure at the rate that you'd like to. So that does mean that you're going to have the Monkey King versus the Baden. Not bad for the Monkey King still. It's a melee hero. And of course, the Drow up against the Centaur. We already said they might try and just run that try scenario because now I look at that
10
Baden lane.
seconds
I don't
remaining.
really feel like it's a lane you necessarily win against the Monkey King. So maybe just
5
amplify your other
seconds
two.
remaining.
Yeah, exactly. I think that how they set up the lanes in 178 will be critical to how they can approach this game. It's all about how they're going to enable this Drow. If the Drow has a good start to the game, then sure they can maybe take some of these early towers, especially if the Brood is having his own little kind of time mid. But again, any movement from the Magnus away from mid lane will instantly turn into a lost tower from the. So obviously, Brood taking your tower. Sorry. So no, I'm a big fan of Radiant's draft. I'm happy that they've made some playstyle changes through the draft. But yeah, it's 178 did heavily outplay Unique in the first game. So if these outplays still occur, then it's drafts are great, but you still need to be able to play the game.
Yeah, draft at the start, it's the execution that really matters. And Team Unique, they did have some teaming issues with that. This is more of a kind of free flow draft, right? Like where what we said, you got these kind of almost cheese picks that can kind of run away with the game on their own, the Brood and the Monkey King. And then you've got that solid support combo, right? That can support these dives, that can trap people in pretty
I'll accept
effectively.
I'll accept cheese pick for Brood, but cheese pick for Monkey King. This man is a staple of current meta
Oh, I mean like
reference
this, the
secret at
cheese for
major.
the snowball effect, right? Like this hero can just get out of control.
I
And
think
then
the
all of a sudden destroy.
purity of the phrase of cheese needs to be saved. For me, a pure cheese is a Brood with no counters, the Husker with no counters, maybe an IO strat with no counters, like the IO tiny. When you get like, oh, woo, what's happened here? The classics. That is the pure, well matured cheese. Don't be putting my Monkey Kings into that. You're spoiling the cheese.
I mean, the problem is you just don't have enough categories of cheese. Are we talking mature, red Leicester, you know?
Oh, mate, these are both. Well, you say that you
You know how
just
people have
identified
like
the
tier
category and then
lists?
one.
There you go.
Oh god,
That's the thing.
requesting
We're
tier list
creating
of
a
cheese.
cheese tier list next.
Very cool.
Yeah, we'll see the Brood already setting up the webs. And this is the thing, the moment you do that, it's kind of obvious. You can, of course, move this early. Like, I've seen one or two players that sometimes do that and then shift
Oh
elsewhere.
mate,
but
yeah. Webs
not in
don't
this
really give
situation.
anything away. You just slap it down and you're like, oh, he's top. I know, I'm just putting a web down, mate, just to surprise you. Don't get carried
Pikachu's
away.
win rate on Magnus, by the way.
I think
It's only 2
these win
games.
rates are these win rates are kind of whatever because 178 they've been losing quite a lot of games recently, so it's not showing what their physical hero performance is. But as a team, they're losing. Sure, the heroes are losing, but
I love
there's a disparity
Kodos's
between-
commitment to just painting the trees
yeah,
instead.
he's making that place look good.
I mean, he could just buy the map that gives you that kind of theme, right? There's the Chinese New Year map.
Ah, I see. Yes.
Might be cheaper than buying all these cosmetics.
Oh god.
The battle begins.
So, things to start off with, you can already see Monkey King just trying to scout out what he can from the lanes, see what he's going to be contending with. And he will get the Abaddon plus the Rubik, which can offset his aggression pretty well, right? Like, Monkey King is kind of vulnerable before he gets 2 points in his passive because the return damage isn't insanely high. So trading can occur for 178 early, right?
So yeah, like I said, the Drow is laying top with the Witch Doctor. Very chill. Okay. So they're just gonna keep it as it is, and this lane top is pretty strong from Unique.
Yeah, because like with the multi-shot, it got buffed to a ridiculous degree. Maledict against a tanky hero like the Centaur especially can punish him.
But it's the fact Disruptor as well can easily pump out the damage as well from behind the Centaur. So it's gonna be an interesting one top lane. But I think bot is very much it's Radiant favored when levels kind of kick in. But early on it will be very much Dire favored.
Yes, it's always the way of Monkey King, right? Like level 1 with your passive is
It's
pretty
very
underwhelming.
Very underwhelming.
I think the only time like we even see it be relative at all is for the lifesteal with a Boundless Strike, but that's about it. If you hit all the
incredibly
creeps, you're like,
underwhelming until you're like level 3. Yeah. Woohoo! Then you fortify and block the heal. You don't do damage to fortify creeps, of course. So that's the big play you see on mid lanes and soon to be side lanes.
And we always see at the start Pikachu not doing too bad. Getting a decent amount of denies in there, just trying to starve the Brood away because she, of course, doesn't hit very hard in the low levels. I think that's the thing that makes Magnus pretty effective here, right? Is that you get that power straight away, and you know at least at the start the Broodmother needs the extra spiders there to just get those early CS.
Yeah, like the Magnus will always be able to push out the lane. It's only when the Brood gets to higher levels and can like skip the wave and make it awkward for the Brood, the Magnus. Sorry, like keep chipping at him. But yeah, I don't think I have any concern actually of the Magnus having much pressure against him.
There is, of course, Brood kill potential, right? Like when Mag has 6, Rubik can get a lift in the
Chappy.
plays. He might be going down, but he's just quick enough. Batten is a speedy boy.
He's got the old salve. He's in a good spot. Kind of healing back up.
I mean, he's doing
But
decent
now this
on
is where the
CS.
lane gets a little bit. Yeah, he's doing all right. But again, like he's meant to be fine early levels. But when Monkey gets to like 3, 4, gets more points in the old passive, then wait, Abaddon's gonna feel the pressure.
And this is where these are the type of lanes where Trent shines, right? Because that grasp, well, great that you got Dispel with Baden, but the slow just keeps getting renewed. It's the same reason like we saw this hero just start to rise in popularity. Yes, it was fairly broken, but when you hit Legion and
Centaur, it doesn't work like this.
He's like, if I just go deeper, all right, just stick your head in the sand, there's not a problem. And Plantimos almost goes down there. That was
That
a little
was
bit
concerning.
frightening.
The Witch Doctor was like, you know what, Mr. Drown, you take the last hit. And then the Centaur was like, chug. All right, I'm dead.
Just one more swing. Not quite, though. I wish he had a fairy fire.
Just like the Magnus does.
I expect Kodos to maybe have one as well. It's your typical mid antic. It's so often it's the lane where fairy fire is the difference between winning or losing it. It sounds like an oversimplification, but we've said it plenty of times where it makes the difference between who gets the first kill. All in all, though, Mag definitely farmed very well. Monkey King and the Baden are still matched on CS as well, so it seems that now that Rubik's staying on the lane more, Monkey King, you know, although he should start to pull ahead now, is suffering and struggling to just get on top of the Abaddon.
Did you see that fortify on mid? I really hope it was for mid because he done it exactly when the Brood threw out her spiderlings, so to try and get the spiderlings. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
So,
you're running naked, just a
block-
big spider. Monkey
So
King.
good.
They got him.
Woo-wee. Okay. Yeah, I'd not gonna lie, I'd probably tip the tree here because if the monkey's dying, it's because the tree isn't playing aggressive enough to kind of mitigate some of the damage. So yeah.
And then top, Plantimos, he's gone.
This is where this lane's scary. Once you again, it's about levels. Both the side lanes for Unique are level 1. It's going to be even, but as soon as you get a couple levels, Centaur naturally can lane very well against Drow with some range show behind. And same with bot, you can lane bottom when the Monkey King gets levels. So sure, the Monkey King just died, but I don't see this occurring in the future. And boom, there's the Witch Doctor gun as well.
Felt like he kind of wanted that death as well. It's like, okay, I'm out of HP, I'm out of mana. Please just send me back to base. He at least made sure he wasn't in range for Centaur to get the XP. And you're right about this, like the Centaur scenario, like especially on this type of lane, you can punish the Drow a lot because you don't really want to go for early points in Gust, right? So there's no pushback, there's no chance to stop the Centaur getting right on top of you.
I think you'd normally get one value point in certain lanes, and I would expect one in this lane personally just to get that disconnect, like you said. So
Maybe like I'd expect the Drow to maybe think about it like a 5 possibly, or 4 or 5, because usually you want the multi-shot points.
It depends on the game. I'd say 4 if it's a really hard lane.
But net worth wise, they're still doing pretty well. The Drow is staying second on the net worth, and well, Pikachu's the one who's getting away with this. Up almost 3k already. And the Abaddon is a formidable force for once. Yep. I'm glad to see this for a change.
Destroys Brood. Brood has like no kill potential on Magnus, so I was expecting it to maybe a little bit closer, especially early on. But no, Magnus just completely demolishes this lane. So
doesn't even have to think about jungle if you keep bringing those spiders back to supplement the lane. I think the biggest surprise is how well Abaddon's doing. Like you were highlighting this earlier today. You want to see a game where the Abaddon is given a chance to shine instead of just being thrown under the bus. And
this is the game is getting that chance right now. He's second net worth, having a pretty good spot, out leveling the monkey even though he died. But look, this is the pressure. This is where Abaddon is good. When you get to be able to slap. Look at it. It's the battle of who gets 4 right clicks, right? Abaddon v Monkey. Who gets the number 4 above the opponent's head? Chappie started with the 4. Now Monkey gets the 4 and.
Well, they want no fear. They won't go under the grass first. It's a bit too risky.
They're not. Yeah, there's no way that you chase that man there.
But that just gave a preview of like an example. If Chappie has a mango or something on there, then that's easily a kill on Monkey King. So they just need to make sure they have more mana to work with. And that's how you just burn out this Monkey King. Definitely makes it a lot more scary for him. And they've already won the race to 5. And this is kind of worrying. When a Monkey King starts to fall behind in terms of XP, that's not a good sign. Especially when your Broodmother is also limping around a bit.
A little bit, yeah, but I think it's one of those things where the Monkey King. Oh, hold on with Witch Doctor and adios, pal.
Hedishara, can they get him blown off? Multi-shot as well. Plantamore stayed a little bit too close. He's trying to back up, but whoopsie. Breaks the trees, moves away. Pedishara just needs one click, and instead the Thunderstrike comes out. The Fade Bolt isn't enough to kill him off. The salve up will be there. So bad does get thrown on the tower at least. Bignum the one making all the plays for his team right now.
Chucks the ward just to prevent the juke.
And then straight back over to mid. The odds are pretty even right now, but I'm getting increasingly concerned about what the Mag can do. He's going for the Echo Saber build, so no cheesy Ags plays. It seems most people have gotten over the idea of just rushing that item anymore.
No, yeah, like this Mag can literally choose whatever he wants to buy. Like this game will be, he's got complete free farm. So if he wants to go for the tanky build, like Echo Saber, like damage, then sure. If he wants to go for the utility, he can. But this game, I would just see him going, just
Echo
full damage.
Saber Blink, maybe?
Let's get another out. Yeah, maybe. I think honestly, this game would be really good if he just went like Echo Saber, AC type, just big bruiser, get in his face.
Yeah, I guess I have other means to deal with the Monkey King was my big thought. Like,
yeah,
they have other ways
just look
to
at the
get
damage
top.
though, right? Look at the damage of Unique. It's physical Brood, physical Monkey, and then you got a sprinkling of magic from Disruptor and Tree, and then some control from Centaur. So if you just buy up Armor Auras on 178, get an early Vlad's, early AC or whatever, you're really going to mitigate this damage. And especially if you're out leveling him in the early game and you get these items as well, you're going to really offset Unique's ability to take a fight.
And you're so bulky, it's not even like a BKB is a rush in your eyes, right? Like, by the time the Disrupt is ready to start fighting with you with the Static Storms, you probably survive on raw HP through that entire fight. Even if they do well on top of you. Especially when you're backed up by an Abaddon who is already getting ample farm in the early game.
Yeah, exactly. This Brood just, he is catching up in farm because obviously he's just going to the jungle, but it's how can they play behind this Brood? This Brood's meant to be a kind of avoid win the game, and we have to remember that when Brood gets items 178, the only way they deal with Brood, is this Magnus. So if the Magnus doesn't have RP, or the Magnus, sure, it plays the lane well, and it did technically crush the Brood in lane, but overall in the game, once Brood gets Ags or any of these killing items, 178 have no answers for this. Like the Abaddon has to go for some real tanky build, maybe some Radiance build, I don't know, like to be able to get rid of this initial damage from the Brood. So it might be looking good for 178 right now. This Mag might be flexing, but it gets difficult once the Brood does catch up 20 minutes into the game.
Do you think this is maybe the type of game we see a Drow think about an Ags, for example? To try and help out with clearing out the spiders and making sure Brood doesn't get control of the fight? Or is it just always Magnus'
Not so much.
job?
No. It's about just being able to actually take a fight properly. So
they're trying to get on top of the Drow. They've at least found Diorara, but Plantamors might be joining him in the grave. Assistance is coming. There it is. Chappie to save the day. The glimpse back is there. They haven't got the damage anymore, though. They need to be careful. Pedishara does manage to clean up the kill. They find one-on-one as both supports fall, and there's the proc straight away to ensure that Monkey King melts.
Yeah, the power of the Abaddon. Good TP there to save him, and then they got a little bit baited there from the Drow coming back in from the glimpse, and eventually dying. I mean, it's good to finally see an Abaddon actually enabling people.
No comment on the rates.
They're both losers here.
Yep. Just take it away, guys. There's nothing to be said about this right now. And yeah, they've just decided, Chappie, you can deal with the Centaur as best you can. You at least have borrowed time, so you shouldn't die, in theory.
In theory.
In theory. There is a potential world in which you whoopsie daisy and just go flop. But it should be hard to achieve that. Like we said before, the Brood is closed in the distance. Pikachu's already like, hey, is there any spiders around here? I need to just, amplify my gold again. Glimpse. Do you really want to hard commit, though? They'll just TP out.
It's actually so upsetting when you glimpse a guy, you're like, guys, oh, he just TPs. Yeah, don't worry.
You start screaming like, why can't you just pick stun cores, you idiots?
Noob draft, go next.
Why couldn't you have the goddamn Magnus? We would have had a kill here.
Feels bad, man. What a way to go out.
Hey, they ain't out. It's just one kill, all right? Head in the sand again. Your Monkey King is the poorest hero in the game, but head in the sand.
I'm very much convinced that even though Magnus had a really good time mid, I'm invested in the Team Unique draft, grouping up together and this Brood catching up and being able to really punish 178. Again, like I said, only Mag deals with the Brood, and that was an in-lane counter. Post game, you rely on the RP. RP goes down. Unique of the skirmish lineup. It's the story of this whole qualifier. Skirmish v cooldowns. What wins? That's a question. Enlighten me, good sir. It was kind of rhetorical. Actually, we already know.
It doesn't lose.
All right, get me out.
That's all the Twitch chat is.
Get me out. You're meant to say that skirmish wins and cooldown loses.
Hey, skirmishing doesn't win wars. Okay, it simply wins you battles. There's some nice Jugalion logic right there.
Okay, I'm just gonna gloss over that one.
Sorry that some of us read stratagems.
Nah, I just play Dota, mate. None of this theory.
That's concerning for a coach.
What are you on about? You don't need theory. I'm an old time Roger.
I'm a standing coach, gut feel. Okay?
You have to have a raw gut feel. If you align yourself with books, then all you are is a bookworm, and bookworms don't win games of Dota.
I mean, whoa, I don't read books. Last thing I read was subtitles, okay? Oh, mate. Pikachu, no.
You gulp.
And the glimpse back. I mean, you could skewer, but he'll be trapped in the kinetic field is the problem.
Well, this is now a window. No RP. Let's go, boys. There's now no Brood counter in the game. Run at them.
Is that a building I see? Let me get rid of that. Pedishara is pretty deep, actually. Skewer.
Yeah,
and the Maledict. Enjoy your death, sir. The Overgrowth attempt. No, they stun him with the Rubik. Static Storm does go down, but Centaur's already dead. Maybe you kill off the Witch Doctor, but he gets out of the grasp in time.
I think Centaur just made that play just so the Magnus didn't feel too bad about himself, you know?
That's what I was thinking. It's like, oh, the RP did get the Centaur kill in the end. Just required him to go somewhere he most definitely should never be. Uh-oh.
Disruptor instantly cancelling the regen rune. They're doing everything they can to try and annoy this Magnus.
Just tilt him out of the game. Yeah, the problem is the drow farming while you're doing this.
It worked yesterday with Fly to Moon.
Jesus. No, that wasn't the in-game plays that had that impact. I think that was something a little bit
Game 3, it was the lack of mental fortitude. Game 3 for Fly to Moon crippled them in this tournament.
And they just ran him through. Nothing Abaddon could do to save the day there.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And all of a sudden, they're the ones that actually slay the tower in the mid first. And you can already see Monkey King just roaming deep. They cut the wrong tree, but would you really want to jump on him even if you got it right?
He just gets stunned. You're like, I'm sorry, Mr. Monkey King. Forgive me for my.
I'm sorry. Don't hurt me. Okay, I'm just gonna back away now. Pretend this never happened. You just go back to jumping through trees. Be a free monkey.
I really like the itemization though from the Centaur. Going straight for the Crimson Guard, he already knows that he has this catch through the Disruptor, through the aggression. The vision Monkey King gives allows for you to get these glimpses off. And then you only need to use Stampede as potentially a disengage, or if you're really committing for the fight. So you buy this Crimson, you get so tanky, and now the Drow needs to buy an extra item to get over the hurdle of the Crimson, the Crimson Guard. So
yeah, you can like say, oh, the procs are nice, but that's an RNG element that Drow doesn't rely on, right? And then the Mag still physical damage as well. The Maledict can at least still be pretty effective against the Centaur directly.
Potentially, but how do you get the damage out? The only time you're going to get a good Maledict is if you get the RP into a Maledict and then maybe the Drow laying over the top. But once you start getting these auras from Team Unique, like how do you take a true fight? Because you have to RP, your Abaddon doesn't really do damage, Rubik doesn't really do damage unless he steals a spell, but there's not many good ones to steal. Witch Doctor, sure, but his ult, it's a bit underwhelming. So 178 are going to come into a lot of damage issues right now, where they have to. The Drow needs a lot of items.
They may be baiting themselves. Pedishara is going to walk out. Hello. Dignan might go goodbye.
Look at the damage this Drow does to Centaur right now.
RP, they bait them in. Oh, there it is.
There's the damage. Now, there we go.
And they use the Stampede as well, so it is an amazing trade for 178.
There we go. When you just right-click him, it's no damage. Then he gets the E off. Then it's like, there we go. There's the damage.
A little bit of shockwave here, a little bit of skewer there. And Cole's like, wait, they used what now? I'm just going to farm where I want. No RP again. It's my time to shine. Good job, Centaur.
You have done a great service, team.
They're looking to go, well, Chappie's a hard enough kill, and we need to check his inventory, because maybe he's built a certain item that lets him hide from us.
No, he's trying to go for the Crimson Guard as well.
So no amulet-based items this time. He's evolved with the role.
Come on, man. That's such an old meme.
It's a good one, though.
Get with the times. It's 2020. He's a new man. He's actually a really good player, I'm sure. Sometimes.
Didn't Chappie say he retired? I'm pretty sure Chappie's the one that said he retired back at the ESL event.
I don't know.
I
don't keep up.
That was freaking short-lived, wasn't it?
He got
Don't worry,
offered a
guys.
team.
Jerax, if this is a pattern, Jerax is coming back next week. Don't worry.
No, I think he's going to have a well-deserved break. Leave him be.
Yeah, Chappie needs to win TI before we can get on a break. Static Storm, Bignum. The only thing breaking here is his face. Pikachu looking for a play. Skewer out, gets him out of the Wukongs. The bigger kill will be claimed by
This is where the
178.
damage comes in. Oof. I just don't know why Unique are just playing independently. They've got Centaur and Tree were trying to do some plays bottom. You then got Disruptor Monkey top. It's like you've got this Brood who fully counters 178 if he's not caught in the RP. And now you're just like, you should just be playing together at this point. You can just force objectives and just utilize the fact that if you get to the backlines, you kill them. Together, you jump drow. But when you're like 2v3, 2v4, you're never going to win a fight. So very sloppy from Team Unique right now, I think.
Yeah, Unique maybe playing in like 2012, not realizing that teamwork is a crucial element to winning Dotes. It's not good enough to just have shining performances on each individual hero. And you know, they do have they have ease of execution, right? Like we've been talking how much 178 they just have to hit this RP. It's huge for them. Then you look on the other side that they've got spells to boot. You know, the Stampedes to get in and out. The Broodmother is elusive. Overgrowth is rarely ever bad, and Static Storm is such a low cooldown. You can just use it for pick off after pick off. And I wish someone would pick this core off.
What a horrendous entry.
They look like they both don't want to be anywhere near each other.
No, they're just looking away from each other.
When relationships get really awkward and toxic, that's what they look like.
Yeah. That's the sound of it.
I tell you what, if someone's making that relationship, you're pushing the wrong buttons. That's all I'm saying. Kodos is hitting all the right marks. He's like, this gold belongs to me. This jungler's mine. Webs everywhere.
He's got diffusal ags. He can now run around the map. He doesn't have positional issues anymore. So you walk into the webs, you're potentially a free target. Like, how do you kill this guy? You have to commit RP. The drow needs to be there with the RP. So Kodos can play so confident. It's like Team Unique. The only reason why 178 is feeling a little bit more open to move around the map is because of the overextension and the lack of team plays Unique have made in the last 4 to 5 minutes. Obviously, like I said, moving as two, trying to go for these pickoff plays as two. You just don't need to do that. Group up together. Play together. Farm as a unit.
Yeah, kind of lean around this Brood, try and make plays off the back of her, because this is a version of Lord of the Rings where the hobbits don't make it out of the den. If they can actually do that, if they can pivot that advantage, they do have that just run at you lineup, and that is where you can really just punish this mag with this huge hefty cooldown on the RP.
Yep. I honestly would... If you can force out an RP in a bad spot, you pretty much secure the next objective to be yours on the Radiant side, so...
Let's see if they can, because right now 178
this is a dangerous smoke. This is dangerous because
it gets broke.
Not for Dire. If Dire misplay here, this is going to be potentially another tier 3 high ground or Roshan if you need to win the fight.
Well, they just get out to make sure they get the XP. They might lose their tier 2 in the mid. In the meantime, they're TPing across right now. That will force them away. Just so much mobility on the cores on the side of Unique. It makes it very hard for anyone to get caught out.
They've still got that deep ward. If you see on the mini-map right now, on the top side of the Dire jungle, there's still a Radiant ward there. So there's a potential play from Unique to smoke back into this area and utilize this vision that they've already placed.
Decent lift, but no one there to capitalize. So that'll just draw some more attention from 178 bot, and that'll allow the side of Unique to play towards the top, where you naturally want to start looking, right? If you can't get these objectives for free, possibly you could be looking at a Roche scenario at this rate.
yeah, I think Roshan's going to be the next objective for them, and then move next.
178, of course, won't let that go for free. They do have the RP plays inside pit, and they also have their own ability to take Roche, right? With the amount of gold on Baden, when you look at the Magnus and the Drow, there is a lot of damage output.
If they play together, then there is damage. If they, but the 178 are pretty much all inning on Drow doing damage during RP. Outside of that, it's like, nah. What's this drawing on the minimap? We're gonna go here, there, everywhere. Own the map. Let's go next.
Let's call it postmodern art. All right, that was just
Like, who
more or
was
less
that?
a
Was either
doodle.
Monkey King or Rubik? Like,
I think
one
that
of
was
them
Monkey King. He's like, guys,
scribble.
look, I can go everywhere. It's like, yes, Monkey King, well done. This dude a disruptor running behind is like, it's great to be you, isn't it? It's great to be any of my teammates who have mobility.
Oh no! Oh, okay. The Broodmother just picked up a BKB. This next fight is gonna be so spooky. The
They're
support
dangling the
Slayer
Drow
is
as well.
online.
They have to realize it's their dangle. But can they punish it? Well, Pikachu's been
They're
revealed.
smoked up as well.
Too far forward is the real question here. He's going to back off a little. They can glimpse him back. I don't know if they want to, but he's got that hefty BKB charge, though. And this is always the
See
frustration of Treant.
who
If-
breaks first? Who wants to jump first?
Maybe they'll break out of frustration, because this is the thing. You're against a Treant, right? So if you just don't take that building in one go, well, guess what? It's going to be nice and full on HP
Ooh.
next time you come again. Chappie's like, please, someone hit me. My hero is struggling to find relevance here. All you guys do is
Sounds
run
like the
away.
most- That was the limpest attempt of, guys, can you start the fight on me so that we can maybe get the perfect initiation, please? That's basically what Chappie was just saying to himself.
Just run around like, oh no, look at me. I'm in the wrong
Oh, but
neighborhood.
hold it, wait, back to mid. Here we go.
Pikachu. They want to
attempted
force that
initiate.
BKB. They'll stun him once. He thinks about the skewer play. Gets across onto 2. There's the RP follow-up. And with the cast bounce around the death ward as well, they'll silence out the
Big
Witch Doctor to
silence.
stop that, though. And Kodos getting low on HP. One more prop would have brought him down. He'll be able to move away just in time. But now they're chasing on top of Palantimos. He uses the Hurricane Pike to get away. Aggressive Child trying to get close off. But Pikachu, he splits it up a little bit. The Stomp comes out for Pedishar.
They're so tanky with this Crimson
chasing
Guard.
onto Palantimos. But they are slowly dying here.
Kill
Lift
the
control.
Drow.
They
Kill
might get
the
it.
Drow.
Trying to chase through. Chappie's like, stay alive. You can't die. Aggressive Child almost going down the skewer through to slow him down once more, but Drow is dead. 2-for-1 trade right now as the Witch Doctor did die a long time ago. And now they're going to try and chase through for more. No Fear will join his comrade in the grave. It looks like after all that, it's going to be the 2-for-2 trade.
That was the biggest tunnel vision of, we need to kill this hero. Like, someone in their comms were like, okay, guys, we need to go on the Drow first, and once we kill the Drow, we win the fight. And then all these guys were like, kill the Drow, kill the Drow. Like, of course, if you stop running at the Drow, she's gonna have time to turn around and right-click you. So they have to commit. That's fair enough. But it's that initial RP that as soon as you get the skewer onto Monkey King, get rid of the Wukongs and just take away that kind of positional fight. It
Glimpse.
is scary for Unique.
Scary for Chappie right now. They try and melt for him.
Has no ultimate
Pedishar
as
might
well.
die as
Oh,
well
they've-
because they have got the Maledict.
Yeah, they've overstayed their welcome. They
Cast.
tried going back mid, but Brood Disruptor and Centaur, they're three pretty cool heroes to play together.
And a little bit sloppy from 178. It didn't really feel like they were standing there with any purpose. It's like, okay, you could have just ran away at any point, but you reached that, right? Like, you're 40, like, okay, we should probably run away, but they do have a disruptor. I may have misplayed this, guys. And,
Disruptor, MVP of the support. 7.24, 7.23, all the 7.2 something. Disruptor, absolute titan.
I prefer MRS, most ridiculous support.
What?
I'm creating new rewards because MVP is like most valuable player, sure, but it's like the nature of this hero is like it's felt busted since they made the change to the game, and there's
Oh,
so
I
much
see.
more gold now. So it's like most ridiculous support, right? It's like, oh yeah, he always gets
Oh.
Ags in his games. You know,
I
he's
thought it was like
neutralized,
most
fuck him
reliable
up.
stun. I was like, you know,
No,
it's
no,
not
no.
a stun, right?
No, most ridiculous support.
I don't
we're
want to
going for.
bamboozle you here, but
Oof. Apex references. We're really going the extra mile. It's not even VP playing. Who did make changes to their roster? I think they just announced it.
did they actually announce it?
I don't know. Did
Or was
they?
it a leak?
Oh, was it a leak? It was a leak. Okay, so they haven't announced it.
It was a Reddit leak, I told you.
That shopkeeper right there is like, what are you talking about? No info here.
Don't watch Tiger Stream, he gives you leaks. Actually, wait, hold on, watch Tiger Stream, that gives you leaks.
No, watch this stream, guys.
Is under attack.
Watch the Broodmother run around the map.
Exactly. Watch
Oak bug, oak bug.
watch the dance and the Benny Hills theme tune set in as 178 keeps trying to find people. This time, no fear. A bit too far out. 4-star. Good luck with that. It's not quite how those interact.
Now that you're dead,
This is when you're running around the map being aggressive, it's like you have to control areas properly. Like you go to a high ground area, you ward it, and you control it. Just blindly running from one high ground to the other, it's like you're gonna get picked off. You need to show this team respect, because if you are out of position, you will die. And they actually just got a pick off, which required no stuns. So there is the potential that Unique can still take this fight. You only killed the tree. I would expect them not to, but there is potential.
And the tree is so valuable in this type of game, right? Because you got on this early Crimson Guard, we just saw how effective it is on the tower. If you have the living armor there, 178 might not even be able to get that objective. And instead, now they find a kill on a Witch Doctor. So
Dead Doctor.
I think you forgot what this web means. This whole set of sticky areas is bad. Don't go there.
But you have to still play the game. If you're scared of a web, it's some like psychological warfare that you're out gaming yourself. You don't get wards out. So I can see his reasoning to like want to play it, but then they have no control of the jungle, so you're just gonna die. Look at the wards. That dire jungle is very much Radiant jungle now.
Sometimes you just have to conquer your fears, but this time you feel too good. I think you enjoyed that part. There you go. Aegis has been claimed by Kurdos. Pikachu needs to back away through the grass, which is frustrating enough in itself. They want to try and force that BKB out with a glimpse back. They might do just that. He needs to actually signs up right now. He needs to get out there. It's the BKB. There's the RP as well. Steps away from the Static Storm. Overgrowth on the side to keep the reinforcements away. The Moisture from long range. Kodos going in deep with the BKB. Looking onto that Drow. But now Drow needs to run. Force stuff to get further away. But you're still in these goddamn webs. Wukongs goes down. Stomp. Onto free. Big from Pedishara. The Stampede run through will run 178 straight through. And give them a decisive victory in this mid-fight. As Pikachu also hits the deck dead for 75 seconds. They're still on the hunt. They say, where's Chappie at? He's on the way back to base. He's got a certain item to buy. He doesn't like the look of this game because this might be Rax.
This is kind of a testament to the Unique draft. If you can counter the Brood for lane, but even after the lane, the Brood still has insane impact because you only have the one answer. So yeah, I think it's a very scary game. I think Unique probably will get a Rax here or something to that degree, because even if you have buyback on Magnus, you don't have the RP. Like, what is your kind of approach to a team fight? Right now, their best approach is to Crimson Fortify and just kind of hope they don't continue. But of course they are. They're just going to reset, wait for the next wave, and give it another go.
Yeah, the Drow's now in the situation where, okay, I can maybe do something. We can somehow burn the BKB charges down, but otherwise, we see webs, we run away, is now how it feels. Because this Broodmother, we saw what happened. Straight away, runs all the way across the fight, knows the target. Monkey King joins her in that regard. And this is the type of counters to Drow that we like to see, right? These heroes that are so mobile in the fights that there's no real escape.
Oh, here we
They
go.
might find more.
Another engagement.
Chappie, not the entrance target they want.
Disruptor's nowhere in the air. He's showing top right now. So, please don't do this 178. You don't have RP up, buddy.
Think, please.
Oh.
All right, Craggy Coat found. Probably going to be for the Abaddon. Doesn't really change anything about the way he can function in this game right now, though. No fear, just keeping vision right now. He's just looking for a mistake. The problem is Pikachu now has the RP, so they might want to calm down a little bit. Just try and farm up those next big items. You got a lot of gold in that last big fight. And I like the Mag's like, okay, the issue's damage. RP into the big Orchid players might be enough to bring down the Brood. And the timing should put him at that item around when the Aegis expires.
Oh, Pikachu, mate. What's happening? You're going to have to most likely BKB to get this one away.
Or does he? He's like, who's going to blink first? Static Storm?
Ooh.
He's not even holding that BKB as long as he can. The Overgrowth comes in. He might have to use it now, but the Crimson Guard protects him. All of a sudden, Kodos is the one who has to walk away. They have used a lot of spells on the side of Unique, and some punishment is needed, but they can't quite find it. Edishara is helped by that Maledict, though.
Magnus doesn't have mana
Aggressive child.
for RP. He's going to need to get mana boost something in this fight.
No, he BKBs. It looks like he wants to try and move away. Hyper Diorara might already go down, but heals up just in time. Skewer to get this away.
The Drow's so
just
out of
gone.
position right now.
Yeah, you're not assisting. You run away from it. They identified the fact that he didn't have that mana you were talking about, and as a result, he's a non-factor. They just run past him, say, what, Magnus, lol? Chappie comes down into a bloody mess, and he'll go down into a bigger bloody mess as he's a splat on the ground. Courtesy of Monkey King.
So they've now got RP. They've got no Drow buyback. There's going to be a 3 racks at least, and maybe more. Or should be more.
Why stop there, right? The RP is still a threat, but you could just end up a scenario where the mag gets called out pretty easily here. RP on the one, sends the Monkey King in and says, okay, keep it simple. If the Brew's too pesky, get rid of the other big threat damage in the team fights. And they at least minimize the casualties, all right? They cauterize the wound. They still have the melee racks in the mid lane.
Yeah, they get the one. That's one and done, you know.
But not one pump jump. They'll be back soon. They're just going to wait for that Monkey King to be back up. Just split the map again. You're up to a 13k net worth lead. Next Aegis is kind of like the game ender, potentially, for Unique. So 178, they definitely need to get an item that allows them to get out, make a pick, and then go for Roche themselves.
Oh, they're just going to have to push up the lanes, give it a... Just going to wait for the Monkey King to respawn, and then off they go again. Like, they shouldn't be scared. They've seen in the last 2 to 3 team fights, it's very easy for them to just get onto these backlines. And as soon as 178 feel confident and leave their base, that's when you can pick apart their positioning.
Well, we'll see if they can do something with this smoke, as they do see Pikachu. And I don't think they choose you. They just blink away. Spider's giving all the vision they need, but you know what? We might have one less set of eyes on this one as the engagement comes in. Chappie getting caught out. Not the ideal target.
Slip.
Yules
him, just kite him
Isn't
out,
it
and then...
fun playing this hero like this? Abaddon. It's like, where do I go? What do I do? Please don't kill me, please. Mercy. No mercy.
No buyback on the Abaddon.
And he is gone from the match. And I believe we're going to have a TeaGuvnor jumping out from the match, as well as this, after that 2-minute delay, he has got to go play some games. This man, he's still fighting.
To apologize.
Destroying in UK Dota. So good luck with your games, TeaGuvnor.
Thank you. I wish you the best, because this most likely is going to a game 3. So yeah, good luck, lads. Have a good one. Farewell. Bye.
Alright, there we go, folks. You just get my voice now. I mean, let's be totally honest. This is the voice that you preferred. I delusionally choose to believe that. Just like 178, they maybe are under some delusions about how big of an RP they can get in this game, because you're reaching a stage where you hit 3 heroes. Is it even enough to control them long enough? They're getting pretty tanky in the start of Unique. It feels like you need this kind of never seen these days 5-man RP situation. They just have so much coverage, right? With the Crimson Guard, you've got the Overgrowth saves living armor. The Brood can heal up from next to nothing. The Monkey King is similar in that regards. And then you got Disruptor with the Static Storms. It's just 178. Their big issue is finding relevance and finding a way that their Drow can exist and be useful in these engagements. And while not an impossibility, you leave yourself in a scenario your Drow is going to need 4 or 5 items at least. And seeing a 13k net worth on that Drow leaves you a long way away from a desirable factor, especially when you compare it to things like the Monkey King has got a lead already, and no fear, does go down. That's a good pick off. Pikachu, with the reveal of the Bloodthorn, finds himself a kill, but can they hunt for more? They try, but it's just that elusive issue again, right? There's only one hero that is an easy standstill target, and that's the Disruptor. Anything else nearby should usually escape. And the pesky Spiderlings. Back into the base, always knocking on. Pikachu goes with the RP play straight away just to get the kill and Disruptor. He did use the Stampede. So actually, once again, another scenario where Unique are making the RP a little bit more worthwhile, right? Like, if your Disruptor dies there to the RP, it's like, okay. When you use the Stampede to try and get him out, it's a kind of window of opportunity where maybe 178 can find an additional pick-off. They are starting to get the range with heroes like Rubik. You know, having the Aether Lens, having the cast range, he might be able to catch someone out. That's kind of key in that regard. If you can actually get on top of something like the Monkey King, pull him away from his team, you're in trouble. And that's the thing. Whenever the Centaur has the Stampede, he makes himself a target. When it's on cooldown, all of a sudden, you can look towards other heroes. Of course, he still gives some benefits to being in the neighborhood with the Crimson Guard. And I think we've got one of those longer spawns on Roche. Probably about another minute until it's going to be up. You can already see this is the crucial outpost to control. 178 does get it in time, so no chance that Unique hold on to it or try and look for some sort of rebuttal here. Does mean that they are even in terms of advantage when you come to engagement, because what you have to look at is the fact that the tier 1 is still standing for Unique on that top lane. So they have a quick TP in off the back of buybacks, and now as long as 178 take and keep control of that outpost, they also have the same. Do expect Unique to try and take it away again, by the way. Having these very mobile heroes is one of the advantages they have. And Pikachu, glimpse back, BKB. No hesitation. He realizes, okay, I can't risk it. The problem is that Roche should be up before that BKB is available again. So you would have an RP play. You just wouldn't have anything to couple with it in terms of your impact, because there'll be a static storm on your face the moment that happens. And knowing this, you should then expect Unique to play a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more up in their face. And things are getting a little bit more worrying as Monkey King is closed in on the Ags. This creates so many awkward factors for 178 when they approach these fights. It's no longer going to be simply jump this hero, right? There's going to be an extra presence layer that makes it very hard to elude 178 and move in for those back lines, right? You already have the issue of playing in the spider's domain, should we call it? And then, of course, there's always that threat of Treant on the side. Yeah, I feel like right now, when you look at 178, they just have to find Disruptor as the entry kill, so they can actually flip a numerical advantage. And they can't commit big ultimates to get rid of that one hero. They need to actually just do this almost without any stuns. And 178, they're going to try and commit their stuns because they're moving towards the pit right now. This is the big annoyance of a Broodmother, though. Look at the spider split just to spot out everything. And that makes it obvious that they're in this pit, but makes it 10 times harder for 178 to assault. They are looking on the side for a different kill as Disruptor drags them further away from the pit. And Magnus can't even close for that kill. It looks like 178 are just going to be left holding their junk in their hands, not able to do anything with it. As the Aegis gets picked up by Kodos and instantly across towards mid. Looking towards the back line. Balance strike on a 2. Glimpse to get one target away, and they go even deeper. They ignore the abandon. Instead, they go from the RP play coming out from Pikachu. Now the overgrowth return. The Maledict is down with the Death Ward. BKB from them, the last one hold up, and they've already got rid of the Aegis. He is down. They're going to use the Wukong's command, but aggressive child. He needs to stay away from Palantimos, trying to dodge out those attacks. Static Storm going down to try and cover his escape, but Kodos now he chases Palantimos away to ensure that he's protected, but Monkey King still goes down to the other 2 cores. And on the back line, you can see that Kodos is going for the kills, but he can't find them as there's going to be a successful TP out by Drow. He only gets the support. Pikachu, however, might be going down here. The Skewer can't get out. Kinetic Field traps him in. Chappie, no borrowed time anymore, so he should die as well. The Stomp ensures it as there's a triple kill for Kodos. Yes, you get the Monkey King. Yes, you get the Aegis, but you lose a lot of heroes on the side of 178. Beautifully done. It looks so clean for Unique as well. The way they actually glimpse away the Abaddon, but you can see straight away, because they lose the Aegis, because they lose the Monkey King, one buyback will be enough to determine from the high ground. So yes, decent fight overall from Unique. But when you consider the net worth lead they have and the fact they had this Aegis, it's pretty crippling and still very hard for them to get on the high ground. If they can find Pikachu, this dieback occurs, however, it could look pretty damn thumbs up. And Kodos, BKB straight away, no choice. Disarm is there. Pikachu, no! He tries to skewer out the BKB. It's way too late. He might be dying back here. He's going to go down. Oh no, and Palantimos, he gets stuck as well. 178. They just lost the game. That's it. GG. Game 3 is going to be required here. And I have no words. Like, you know, it might just be a failure to remember certain game mechanic interactions that Kinetic Field tries to skewer out. You should know by now that the way that Kinetic Field works, it will definitely block that skewer though. So it could also be some sort of, I don't know, maybe he accidentally queued that wrong and forgot to press BKB first. But all in all, that is a heavily critical mistake. Like that was like a bounce back opportunity potentially 178 if they just hold in the base. And then like there's a window where maybe Team Unique make a mistake. But instead, Team Unique pretty flawless from start to finish in this game 2 means we will require a game 3. I'm going to see if I can grab a co-cast of the final game or if it's just going to be my voice for way too long. And we'll have a short break. Be back soon for game number 3 between Team Unique and J178 to see who can clinch it in this 1-1 series.